BitBoy Crypto.
We can't let anybody else find out who we are. My eyes are up here. I personally would not advise that strategy. Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird, how to make money in crypto.
Oh, you're killing me.
Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the people's channel, home of the BitSquad, largest and greatest, most debilitated crypto community in all of the interwebs. No channel's working harder to keep you in the know when it comes to crypto. Isn't that right, TJ?
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, a quick 10-second update. Got surgery on my arm. Everything went well. It's has a numbing agent that should be ending in like the next 30 minutes. It's a 24-hour thing. So you see me wincing, it's the pins and needles. Don't worry. I'll become medicated shortly. But I wanted to have some wits about me when I'm doing the morning stream. I'm gonna be like, hey man, like buy it or something, man. Like glassy-eyed. I don't want to be that guy.
That's the dedication you get on this channel right here. Doesn't matter if you have a broken arm, if you just got set at the hospital.
Needles in my eyeball.
Yeah.
I come to work.
We're bringing that crypto information.
Yes.
For you guys.
I was tweeting, I was working from home. I was working from the hospital bed. That's how serious I take this job here. DJ, you just came back from a 49-hour flight or something, right?
It was a long flight. We pretty much went around the world. Went the opposite way back. So we went east back over Greenland and Iceland and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Brian and I were actually in Malta at the Galagames event.
How was the Gala event, and is there any alpha you could share with us?
The main alpha, I would say my main takeaway from this whole thing is this isn't a blockchain company trying to make games. It's a gaming company that's trying to implement blockchain. So they have over 30 games in development, and a lot of them we were able to play. Very good gameplay, and they were, developed by top gaming studios. So yeah, I was impressed. A lot of good partners. The Gala music, I think, is really going to be interesting. So yeah, a lot of really good stuff.
I mean, I guess that big takeaway was the Epic Games working with their one game. So that's going to be big. Epic Game Store pushing close to 200 million users. So.
Absolutely.
No, I'm not on crazy narcotics. I'm the stuff with the Tylenol. Okay, like nothing crazy. Okay, I'm just on one aspirin. Children's, the chewable. It was a Flintstone. I ate Barney. Now I feel better. All right, let's look here. We're still 1.45 million subs here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Make sure you check out our sister channels. Is that what we're calling them? Our sister channels?
Partner channels, sister channels.
Yeah, make sure you're checking out Frankie Candles, BitBoy Bits, Hit Network, Meta Money, NFT Alpha. Frankie Candles catching up with NFT Alpha. Let's see who reaches 20K first. Obviously, we're trying hard. We're putting out that regular content. We put out some really good content yesterday. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Almost at 34,000. If you look, my pinned tweet, nice Cardano mobile walkthrough with Eternal Wallet. My last tweet was U.S. inflation, which we will be covering, jumps 8.6. Food up 12%. Gas, look at that, 64%. I did the math myself. I think it was like $3.06 a year ago. Wow. As of yesterday, I don't know what it is today, like 4 cents from $5 national average.
Yeah, I noticed it at the pump yesterday when I was filling up the Forerunner, and it was pushing $4.50, which I remember being in California, the price was that high when I left. So $5 is usually about what gets my attention. But
the real stablecoin is the BitBoy sub count. That's good. And I did not hurt my arm finagling my ledger. Okay, I see the comments. You guys are a little too much here. Make sure you're following Ben's new name here. It's no more dad jokes for the win. People kept conflating it with a different acronym. No, now it's Ben Armstrong. Actually, it's actually him. So check out. He's got some really good stuff. Also, DZ_BTC Hit Network. There's a lot of good Instagram accounts you need to be following. Okay, we put out some pretty good stuff, pretty good stories. If you want to see that Malta content before it hits the the interwebs, you got to follow TJ's account too. Hit Network. All right, Hit merch. We got some good merch on the way. Yes, that is me breaking my arm at that moment right there. That was the moment it happened. It was when I saw ETH falling below 2,000. But really, really good stuff. All right, let's see. Yeah, moving on to Coin Market Cap right now. This is, one of the main things. I know Ben always likes to talk about, the Bitcoin dominance, but to me, this ETH dominance falling. Remember when this was 20%, 20.6 even? And then it kind of hung around 19 for a while. The ETH dominance looking pretty low to me personally. If we check some prices, down a little bit. We have Bitcoin down about 2.5%, ETH down 3.5%, 1,700. I believe Alameda just sold a lot of Ethereum. There's a bunch of reasons for that. Might get into that. Just kind of breaking. BNB still holding semi-strong around 300. Cardano above 50 cents, 59 cents, but look at that, down 7%. However, it's not all loss. It's up 9% on the week. And if you want to look, Bitcoin's flat, Ethereum's down. So Cardano holding strong on the weekly.
It seems to be holding around that 60-cent range.
Yeah, it's like 60 is the new 50 or the new dollar or the new $2 for the, as it keeps going down. Solana fallen. Can Solana ever reach that top 5 spot? I don't know. XRP looking, not as terrible as we were expecting. Also kind of flat on the week there, 39 cents. Doge, 7 cents. Do you think Doge can hit a penny, the bottom of the bear market?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. 7 cents is the new penny in a lot of ways. Like before, it would pump up to about a penny, and that's when people would get out, or maybe 2 cents or something like that. Then it became like, 10 was the new place to get out, and then it went all the way up to 70, which was wild.
Yeah, the second time I sold was 7 cents. It fell back down to 4. I jumped back in, and then I sold the Thursday before Elon.
Yeah.
I wish I would have bought more because that was a nice little come up. But it was on Robinhood.
Yeah.
I think I just put it straight into ETH. And then I was like, well, great. Now, this isn't my ETH. And then I just sold it in cash, put it in my bank account. Probably didn't rebuy the ETH. But you know what? Now's a good time. Polkadot. But we might be going to Mr. Candle Mafia himself as we look at the charts. I have one hand, everybody. I'm not going to be able to move these candles around. So we're going to leave it to the guy. Candles is actually in his name. That's right. Frankie Candles. We made sure to dress differently today.
Bring it up.
We still live together for the next couple weeks. We're still living together.
That's right. It's going to be a sad couple last weeks, but we're going to celebrate. DZ, I'm glad that your surgery went well. Yeah. Talked a little bit briefly about that last night. It's crazy. He just bounces right back, right? You get surgery, he's back at work, instantly the next day. Absolutely savage. So shout out to you, DZ. Respect your work ethic.
I tried to do all that, but it was just insurance wouldn't cover it. Non-essential. They don't know what they're talking about.
Come on, while I'm out, give me, spruce me up a little bit.
I wanted the Michael Jackson chin. I was trying to get the butt. I wanted the butt. You wipe, you blow your nose, wipe your butt at the same time. I wanted one of those, but it's too. I couldn't handle it. Too much. I have to sell my Cardano. I can't do that. Not at these levels.
All right. Hello, BitSquad. Hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. We got a lot of good stuff to look at here on the charts as the CPI numbers have affected the markets pretty drastically. I remember almost exactly at 8:30, we started dumping. I was on a low time frame. You could just see 8:30 hit. We started coming down. But let's go ahead and start here with Bitcoin. Now, we do have some things that are concerning me just a little bit. As you guys know, we did get these higher daily time frames starting to print these red dots. But if you look here closely, we do have the VWAP starting to turn back over on itself. So we may be printing some red dots here, in the near future. Now, you don't want to forget, you could get some support on this zero line with the VWAP. I mean, you could bounce off of it. But if it keeps coming down and we make start printing red dots here, these green dots may not play out like we wanted them to on the higher time frames. A little too early to tell here. But moving on, yesterday we did get that red dot. So this little dump that we saw, not too drastic of a dump, but this little drop that we saw this morning is not really too much of a surprise to me. These red dots do typically bring us down a little bit. Now, moving on to the lower time frames here, we did cross into the red with the money flow on market Cipher B on the 4-hour chart. Now, last time this happened, every time it happens, even if it's just for a little bit like right here, we do come down quite a bit. So I would expect a little bit, even more the 3-hour just beginning to cross over into the red. So this could actually bring us down.
How about how low that 3-hour RSI is? How far back do we got to go before the RSI hits that low? And what happened to the price after?
So, yeah, I mean, if we come back, that's somewhere.
Okay, then you can see it right there.
Yeah, over here we came down. So we can come down lower. But yeah, typically, when they, it kind of looks like, we're closer to like this situation here. So, a lot of, it is possible to dump down further. As you can see, we were down. It felt, you could imagine that after you get this big drop, you're feeling pretty good about a bounce at this point, and then just boom. So you want to be careful.
So you'd feel a little bit safer with a trigger wave, and a trigger wave meaning you have a second RSI that's slightly higher.
Correct. And then the other thing you want to pay attention to is the money flow here. Now, here, the money flow, we were already in the red. Now, when we are just crossing into the red here, sometimes they can be a little more powerful. But, with this 3-hour money flow crossover, I do think that, we could come down a little bit more. And then just moving on, let me just...
real quick, when you say a little bit more, do you have any numbers in mind?
Yeah. So, actually, if we come back to the 4-hour... Now, this is, you want to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt because you can backtest these things, right? Like last time we crossed over into the red, with the money flow, you can measure, how far that has brought you down in the past, but you want to make sure that you're understanding that, sometimes when you go back in time, the market's in a different time, right? Like, so it depends. Like in the beginning of the bear market, when you're really high up at all-time highs, you might see something that pops up on the chart right before we have a huge dump. But, price action might not behave the same if we've already had a giant dump. So you just want to remember that. But yeah, speaking of levels, let me just switch our chart here a little bit and go into a lower time frame so I can kind of zoom in here and let you guys know what I'm looking at. If we do continue to come down. Now, another thing I want to note before we touch on this is 18-minute. Yeah, look at this. Guys, this is textbook right here. 18-minute blood diamond. I do believe we have them on the 15-minute as well. Now, when you're trading, what you want to do, I actually called this out in the Discord. Shout out to the Candle Mafia. This morning, I was saying what I am looking for is next stop, not too far away, but my next immediate stop is probably going to be this green spider line right here, coming in at about 29,130. And I told them to watch out. I kind of put in the Discord, I show the chart, right? And then I'll draw an arrow of what I want price action to do and what I will be doing if I see that happen. So I was telling them, watch for price to come down and then bearishly retest this golden pocket and then come down like this. What I love about this, which makes me feel really good about some of the short positions that I'm in, is this yellow X, right? When you get that bearish retest and a confirmation of a yellow X, typically, I think it's very likely we come down and see this spider line. And then we also do have another level down here at about 28,800, this white line right here. This yellow X, especially if we start printing two of them, they typically do come in twos and they bring you down a decent bit, especially on something like the 18-minute or the 15-minute. This could easily bring us down to this spider line or this white line at about 28,800. So these are kind of the local levels I'm watching. So I like to point that out. Now, real quick, I do actually want to talk to the XRP army really quick because I just want you guys to be prepared. You might be in for a little bit of turbulence this weekend. Now, coming on over here, we're starting to see these blood diamonds pop up on the higher time frames. You do have one on the 16-hour that confirmed a little while ago. Coming down to the 12-hour, you're starting to get one starting to print. You already have one confirmed here, but you're also printing one right here. Now, again, these are not 100%, but when you see them pop up on the higher time frames, they do typically play out pretty well, especially you get the first one. When you get multiple, a lot of times the first one might foreshadow another one coming. And then usually, sometimes that second one, that third one is the one that actually plays out. But the thing that concerns me here is we are, we have broken below this high volume node right here. And now we are bearishly retesting it. Blood diamond, you came down a little bit, came to test it again. Now you're printing another blood diamond. This is very strong resistance. And a lot of the times, the next stop for these is, if you get rejected harshly from this point of control, the next stop is that value area low, this blue line right here. So that is at about 35 cents. So, not saying we're going to insta dump to 35 cents, but you just want to keep your eye on this because these blood diamonds could play out in a big way. Also, 4-hour printing a blood diamond right now, and the money flow coming out aggressively. This is very indicative of some more downward action. So just want to give a little heads up to the XRP army. I will tell you this, if we come into the 30s, I will be accumulating more XRP for sure. Going to start buying a little bit more. I do have a big bag already. It is one of the coins that I have not sold. I will just hold my XRP. Don't want to miss out on any lawsuit settlements or anything like that. So I am holding it, but will look to pick some more up at 35 cents.
Yeah, one other thing you probably people not as much for today or this weekend, but beginning of next week for sure we do, and we'll probably get into it with this next story. But there is another Fed meeting coming up Tuesday and Wednesday, I think next Tuesday or Wednesday. So that could last few obviously they've been raising rates. We see dramatic downturn right after that, so that could be obviously setting.
I will say this: 75 basis points automatically go down. Of course, 25 basis points. Of course, we're going to go up. What if they do 50?
I think we still go down. That's my.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my opinion. Just because money's getting tighter. 0.25, I would agree. It probably would be a bullish thing. But I think 0.5 is kind of on par for what they said they're gonna do, which still makes things tighter.
Yeah, and it's like, I know we've been expecting this relief bounce, and it might be things like this that are keep pushing us down further and further. But before I jump off, real quick, just want to let you guys know about 1650 is going to be my next target for Ethereum. It is in a descending triangle right now. It isn't looking too great with the 3-hour money flow getting back into the red there. So 1650, if we break this descending triangle, which it looks like it is begging to do.
Right.
If we can break this, I think 1650 is likely, and there is not too much support down here. So 1650 breaks probably come in to 1600 even, and then into the 1500s pretty quickly. So just want to be careful with that too. Just wanted to point that out for you guys, and I think that's all I got for today. Back to DZ.
All right.
Bing bong.
Thanks, Frank.
You know what? Maybe I'll wait for a dump and then DCA into just a little ETH.
Hey, there you
know?
go. That's what
Chainlink pumped. I don't want to buy after the pump. I've been buying Chainlink. Okay, I've been buying Chainlink since $2. Okay, I have a lot of Chainlink. So
Yeah.
the Chainlink is the bags are filled. All right, I'm gonna have to move the mouse.
there you go.
Crippled problems here.
I'll
Give me
cover for you. I can't
Jeez,
tell.
Frank, set me up for failure here. People are like, "Geez, let Frank talk, bozo." I'm like, sorry, sorry. I was just trying to explain a trigger wave.
Just
For the
trying to get
people who
involved
don't,
over here, guys.
know what a trigger wave is. After that, I shut up. So you know what? Your comment actually worked. Sorry. All right. Let's talk a little Bitcoin on exchanges. You know what, though? We are talking about, I do believe there might be another push down, but we are all long-term bearish. Or, I mean,
Yeah. Oh, boy.
When I say long-term, I mean the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Hours. When you look at seconds, that's a long-term amount of seconds here.
Yeah.
But if you're jumping in, I broke my arm. Maybe I'll give a little explanation at the end of the show. But yeah, let's look at some little hopium, or as TJ likes to say, hopium, that I've seen. Bitcoin supply on exchanges reaches low not seen since 2018's bear market bottom. Yes, the last time it's been this low, 3K, folks. Percentage of Bitcoin circulating supply being held on exchanges has dropped below the 10% mark. We're talking about single digits for the first time since the price hit 3,200 back in December 2018. That is huge.
Yeah, that's
that
big.
is huge. I think we can go down another percentage. I think we can go down maybe one more. But here's one thing that will happen. This is where you'll start seeing a resurgence of people saying, get it off exchanges. Okay, this is good. I don't really have too much Bitcoin on centralized exchanges, but if I did, set up a wallet, get it off exchanges. Let's put a little bit of buying pressure on these exchanges that they don't really custody all the Bitcoin that they say they need to. So pull it out, and then that's really the best way to get Bitcoin's price to go up. Self-custody.
Yeah.
All right. Bitcoin supply on cryptocurrency exchange is closely tracked metric. It is used to gauge the supply of Bitcoin that is currently available to be sold on the market. And what happens is a lot of these exchanges, they have a minimum amount that they require. We have 24-hour average volume of Bitcoin purchases. We need to have that times Y. So if we really start pulling their supply, they say, oh my God, we don't even have enough Bitcoin for 72 hours worth of purchases. So start pulling it off, start forcing these exchanges to market buy Bitcoin from other exchanges, which creates a domino effect because now they're running out and they got to buy it from the bigger exchange, Next thing you know, they're knocking on the whale's door saying, sir, can I just have one Bitcoin, please?
Yeah.
And that's when you're going to see some real price action. As Crypto Globe reported, Bitcoin's investor tool metric, which is designed as a tool for long-term investors to find periods where prices may be approaching cyclical tops or bottoms, has started flashing a buy signal for the first time since the COVID crash of March 2020, where we hit roughly 3,800, I want to say, or 3,900, depending on your exchange. So, we're seeing, what was the number?
I think 3,200 was the absolute bottom. But like you
That
said,
was the December 18. It hit 3 something in March.
you could be right.
Yeah. But either way, these are some pretty bullish indicators saying, hey,
Absolutely.
now obviously, is the price near 3,200? No. Is it near whatever it was in March? No. It is a little bit higher. It's a lot higher. It's 10x higher than that, roughly. So I don't think we'll see, a 20x over the next 12 months. I'm not saying that, but I think we will see some good returns. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe a year from now, but we are hitting some bottoms for sure.
Yeah. Well, and I think this is another one. I know there's been that false top theory that a lot of people have been looking at and seems to be getting stronger and stronger. And metrics like this showing, this is just another thing that shows we could be close to a bottom. Not saying we can't flash further down.
Yep.
Everything we're looking at, Frank still said he's still short. Everything looks in the short term bearish. That being said, I think a lot of people are thinking we could be close to a bottom, even if we go sideways at that bottom.
And what happens when everybody says it's going lower?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It says, you know what? Hold my LaCroix. All right. 30,000 Bitcoin price has severe impact on Bitcoin miner profits. Here's the analysis. Is squeezing its miners this month as suppressed prices threaten to impact their profitability. This is the amount they make by selling the Bitcoin that they mine. Fears of a capitulation event among miners should spot deteriorate remain a talking point. Here's some more of this negative news. Time to ROI has been increasing steadily since the China ban and the ASIC fire sale last year. The ASIC fire sale referring to all the cheap Bitcoin mining equipment going on sale as the price essentially started to dump and people had to liquidate their mining operations. There we see some nice charts going over that. So we're seeing a lot of nice long-term macro indicators here. These aren't 18-minute green dots, red dots, diamonds, X's. This is more 8 months, 12 months, 18-month indicators, and they're starting to look a little bit positive. So again, like we said, it might take a while. We're not saying this isn't a short-term indicator, meaning we're not going to see a short-term reversal, but statistically, we certainly could. And I've been buying. I've been a buyer. I've been a net buyer. I'm usually a net buyer under. I kind of change it all the time, but under 36 right now, under 32. If Bitcoin's under 32 and I get a paycheck, I like to put in my 0.4 chain link market buy order here.
Well, and that's actually a good strategy to keep in mind what that article was just talking about. The price to produce a Bitcoin for Bitcoin miners oftentimes tends to be a very strong floor. Not saying it can't flash below that, but I want to say the price was between 6,000 and 7,000 to produce a Bitcoin back in 2018, 2019. And that's the range it stayed in for a really long time. Right now, at least as of January, according to this website, the price for miners to produce one Bitcoin on average around $34,000. So you can see that 30,000 being a strong support because miners
they don't want to sell it for less than that.
Well, yeah, they need it to be there to recoup their costs. So
another analogy I like to give is, say gold is $2,000 an ounce, and you mine it, and it costs you $1,600. You're selling it at 2,000. You're selling it at 1,800. Maybe you sell at 16. If it falls to 1,400,
you're gonna hold.
You're just gonna start stockpiling your gold, and then next thing you know, demand, as supply diminishes, demand will increase.
And when the miners are stockpiling like that, that's when you start to see those diminishing supplies on exchanges because that's who's selling to a lot of the exchanges, the OTC desks and the miners.
Dude broke his arm but showed up for work. Good on you, sir. Hey, I say there's a lot of toughing up that needs to be done in America workforce. We've talked about it before, but you know what? If you like hard workers, you like hard-working Americans. I'm going to try to sound like Bruce Springsteen. There's a lot of hard-working Americans out here wearing some denim, working hard in them oil fields, working underneath that big rig. And they're just trying to bring honest source of income, get some food on their family's plate. And if you like that type of hardworking American, I need you to hit that like. I need you to smash that like. Because every like you smash is smash for the hardworking citizens out there, keeping the world revolving, okay? Someone has to do all the dirty jobs out there. Am I the Mike Rowe of crypto? I might be.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not that. No, that'd be J Chains, right? All right. Yeah. Inflation hits. No, that'd be Brian.
Yeah, probably.
Brian would be the
yeah.
guy though, like jump in the sewer vat with the guy.
100%.
Sir, don't you want to wear like a full body suit? No, I got. I'm in my sandals and shorts.
He'll jump down there, dig an NFT out of there or something. Yeah, that's
There's
100%.
a Gala node code. All right. Oh, we love meta money. We love meta money. All right. Inflation hits 40-year high as CPI rises 8.6 in May. We only say that because Brian's a machine. He'll do all the crazy stuff. He's the crazy guy in the group in a good way. U.S. consumer prices accelerated in May to the highest since 1981. That's older than me. As Americans grapple with the surge in the cost of gas, food, and shelter, data showed Friday. The average rent in America is $2,000 now. It's a first.
Wow.
Pretty terrible there. CPI unexpectedly accelerates, jumping by the most since way back here. This was the first implementation of Reaganomics, which is, takes a while. And you can see here, many would blame this on Carter because Reagan didn't come in until January of 1980. So, yeah, the stalled, basically the oil crisis of the late 70s, early 80s, a key driver of this. OPEC. Saudi Arabia, what are you doing? Start pumping your oil. You're purposely hurting America. We know that you're purposely hurting America. The biggest contributors to the latest jump in inflation were shelter, gasoline, and food, according to the BLS. Energy rose 4% month on month. Gasoline rose 4%. Compared to the year prior, energy is up 34.6%, the most since September. A year over year, energy is 34% higher. Food index is rising 10% over the previous year. Now, the food index is, there's different indexes like restaurants and grocery stores, but 10% increase in food. Following this report, stock futures fell as investors anticipate officials will need to intensify their efforts to rein in price increases across the economy. And here we have a Jerome Powell looking at the orphanage burn that he. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's like you're hungry, huh? Yeah.
Not my matches. All right, moving on here. American economists are baffled by an unusual situation as Russia's ruble is the world's best performing fiat currency. That's not what the mainstream media would want you to believe that, they're, he's ruining their country. They're all starving. However, 2 months after it fell below a penny, the transcontinental country's fiat currency is the best performing currency worldwide. They're baffled by this unusual situation because they are facing stiff sanctions, typically sees as fiat currency decline in value. Russia's ruble has done the exact opposite. It is facing some stiff sanctions from the Western world. However, who's the biggest exporter globally? You know this.
The biggest exporter of what?
Services and goods.
Services and goods? China.
China. Who hasn't cut off Russia?
China.
Yeah. So, we put these stiff sanctions on them, but it's not an end all be all if it's not a global, sanction. It's like I think China has to do very backdoor things to, get stuff to North Korea. Those people are starving to death. But if you got China still sending you all the things you might need to have an economy function, you can do all right without American imports. You're going to be okay. And we're seeing it right here. Now, of course, their currency tanked super hard. To say it's the best performing, it's like after a Bitcoin flash crash. Yeah, Bitcoin's, the best performing asset over the last 2 months. Could still be down considerably from, say, 10 years ago, a year ago. But, performing strong, unfortunately here, depending, where you line on that economic situation. Bitcoin.com news reported on the Russian ruble sinking to record lows. Citizens started to withdraw lots of cash, causing what many called a bank run. However, you can see the flash crash here. And then now just very much outperforming other currencies here. And that week in April, it rebounded to pre-war levels, and the fiat has shown resilience ever since then.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is confirmed. I want to double check, but I think I heard they started after all this to back the ruble with gold as well as energy. Like they're using it obviously to sell for energy, but I think they backed it by gold too, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
But that could make sense. Basically, they're making basically trying to make the ruble a much harder fiat than the rest of the fiat in the world.
Yeah. Give it a little bit. Head back towards somewhat of a gold standard. Yeah, we see here on this chart, it is higher than where it was pre-war. And so, like I said, it was a flash crash and then it's performing well, but it's ahead of previous, location. So, wow.
So as of May 2nd, 2022, its central bank fixed the price of 5,000 rubles to a gram of gold. So now rubles is fixed to the price of gold. So we have a gold back. So it's not technically a fiat currency because it's backed by gold. And there's a big value demand on it for the energy. So
TJ got his beard game on point today. Could we pull it up to the big screen here? People want to see it. People don't want to see the small square beard.
I don't even know
if it's possible.
Let me see. All TJ. Boom.
Okay, the beard game coming in strong. It's a Maltese beard. All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little New York, since we're going to NFT NYC.
Yeah.
New York regulator says stablecoins must be fully backed. Said stablecoin issuers must develop clear redemption policies to be greenlit in writing by the agency. If I didn't know better, I would say this is clarity. New York? Are you drunk? No, that's me off my pain meds. Not yet. U.S. dollar-backed stablecoins traded in the state of New York are now required to meet enhanced conservative reserve requirements. The jurisdiction's financial service regulator said in newly issued guidance on Wednesday, "We're just happy you have guidance. We don't care if it's like tough and stringent. They must be fully backed by a reserve of assets, which must be equal to the face value of each individual unit by the end of each business day," the regulator said in a statement. Some, like DAI, have even more backings than what they actually have out. The NYDFS's regulatory guidance does not apply to U.S. dollar-backed stablecoins listed, but not issued by regulator entities under its watch. That seems weird, right? Does not apply to U.S. dollar-backed stablecoins. So I guess you just have to. And that's weird because if you do have dollars backing it, you don't have to show that you have the equal amount every 24 hours.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make much sense to me at all. I guess it's for people that are trying to back it with Bitcoin,
right?
Other currencies like that. I'm sure the US dollar would also have some sort of mechanism for checking, but maybe it's not every 24 hours or at the end of business day every day. Maybe it's a monthly, a quarterly, a yearly audit, something like that. So, yeah, interesting to see. So, I guess they're just trying to make sure Bitcoin crashes, the investors are going to be protected, and they want to make sure the owner of the protocol isn't siphoning out $80 million regularly here. But we'll get into that later. Speaking of stable, is Tether losing the stablecoin war against USDC and BUSD? Before we get into it, what are your thoughts on that? I would say it's definitely losing to USDC.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Everybody's losing the war to USDC and has been for the last 2 years, basically. Ever since Circle got involved.
Yeah, Circle's got them big checks, and it looks like they like to write it to the right people. Major cryptos like Bitcoin and ETH can sometimes go up or down in double-digit percentages in a single day. You know what? As a result, most people associate cryptos with volatility, and that's why we love it. On June 9th, Tether deployed the USDT stablecoin on Tezos, becoming the 12th blockchain on which the popular stablecoin is available. Where are my Tezos fans at? Hit that like button if you like a little Tezos. Huh? Hey, you got any Tezos? Did you used to? I think I used to.
I do, somewhere. There's still some out there.
If you have too many wallets, hit that like button. Hit that like button. I know I do.
Yeah.
I know I do. All right. I just remembered a missing wallet.
Yeah.
All right. Since the 9th of May, more than 130 large crypto holders have increased their USDC coin balance. These holders increase shares by at least 1 million and decrease their Tether balance by at least 1 million. Here's the graphical representation. So, yeah, you can see right here, Tether starting it down USDC. Yeah, so you can just see a clear inverse pattern here of people making swaps.
And I bet if you go look, you can see, well, maybe not. When is that? That's all this year, basically beginning of this year?
Yeah, looks like, so this is January, July, January. So, yeah, I mean, like, that looks like that would be May-ish, June.
And that was about the time we heard tons of stuff coming out of regulators on stablecoin regulation. And it seems like USDC's been given a pretty clear path. You can see it right there. And Tether's been in the crosshairs.
I love the All In podcast, but Jason Calacanis, he hates Tether for some reason. But, of course, he's really big into USDC.
Well, there you go.
Almost explains it there.
Yeah.
USDT still remains the top player in the stablecoin market, but doubts have started to circulate over time. I personally, I'm a little bit spread across USDC and USDT. I have a little bit of both. I do like USDT because of how many trading pairs it has.
Mhm.
Sometimes I like to get in and out of stuff, but
US
USDC has a great job of when you fiat out through Coinbase, they don't charge you, they don't pay you 99.5 cents per token like they do with Tether.
Yeah, well, and that's the big difference right there is Tether is much more crypto's ethos. You know, they're crypto and blockchain people. USDC is traditional finance trying to, maintain control over the new digital landscape.
Don't know why the channel hasn't covered the Tezos IRS case. Way more interesting implications. I know we've covered it briefly, but
Yeah.
maybe we could do like a little bit more of a deeper dive on the main
Sure.
channel. Let us know in the comments if you do want to see that. It's just one of those things where, yeah, like we might get an update every month, so we'll talk about it on the morning stream. But IRS law cases, that's not going to be super fast. Just ask Wesley Snipes. All right, interactive brokers. Too soon? Too
Yeah.
soon? How dumb do you got to be to try to fight Blade in prison?
Pretty dumb.
Pretty dumb, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I shouldn't say this. If he dropped the soap, I'd pick it up. That's all I'm saying.
Here you go, sir.
Sir, here you go. All right. I shouldn't have said that. Please don't clip that. Shouldn't have said that. Interactive brokers launch crypto trading services in Hong Kong. We're going to delete this.
Yeah.
Interactive brokers will offer virtual asset services to professional investors in Hong Kong through crypto exchange OSL. And a partnership between two digital asset brokerages enables a new route for professional investors in Hong Kong to dabble in crypto assets. If I lived in Hong Kong, I would definitely have a higher percentage of my net worth in Bitcoin. Just saying.
Mhm.
Investors worldwide are rallying to digital asset markets, and the collaboration with OSL comes at a key moment in the development of the regulated digital ecosystem in Hong Kong. So the head of Asia Pacific at Interactive Brokers, the SFC recently took aim at non-fungible tokens, warning that investors cannot fully understand them and bear the potential losses. They should not invest in NFTs. You're stealing the gains, bro. China's caveats on cryptocurrencies have also muddled Hong Kong's role as a hub for fintech innovations. Seems like they're losing that battle in Asia to Singapore, and China's not going to want anything that they're associated with to have strong tech infrastructure for crypto, because it's just going to be easier to skirt their regulations, their rules, their draconian measures. I know if I was the premier of China, I wouldn't want a bunch of people using free decentralized software that allows a global payment system,
Mhm.
not under the yoke of a government.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on here. Crypto hedge funds grew by 150% in 2021 with more capital deployment expected. That's great. 150%. I mean, it's more than doubled, but I feel like I want that a little bit higher in a growth sector like, cryptocurrencies.
Well, and I'm wondering, is that supposed to say 2022? Because this is all crypto hedge fund report 2022 is
Well,
written in
it seems like it took
2022.
them a long time to get this data, right? Because,
Right.
I mean, they are releasing this for, it's the 21 data, but Jesus Christ, it's June 10th.
Yeah.
How long did it take you? Isn't it on the blockchain? The report released by PwC shows that 1/3 of hedge funds are now moving into the cryptocurrency market. That is huge.
That's a lot.
I would not have guessed 1/3 of hedge funds. I would have guessed 1/10,
Well,
maybe even less.
If you think about it, though, if you're running a hedge fund right now, right, and the stock market's crashing, tech stocks are crashing, you've been hearing about crypto for a long, the last maybe 6 years, haven't taken too much action on it. I can see a lot of those hedge funds saying like, okay, we now know blockchain's here to stay. We need some exposure to blockchain and Web3. Go find us some stuff.
All right.
That sort of thinking.
Yeah. Hey, Tom Crown in the chat, man. Hope you had fun in Consensus. I guess he was at Texas was fun. Would have been more fun with DZ and BitBoy. Ben is there, and there's going to be a super awesome Charles Hoskinson interview. I'm certainly looking forward to.
Yep.
One thing he did say, he's most surprised by the NFT growth in Cardano. And so I'm starting to get a little bit more bullish, and I'm starting to see a lot more .eth names and Bored Ape profile pics starting to talk about Cardano. There's been a lot of data analyzers where they'll say, here's the top 10 coins of NFT sales. Here's the top 10 coins in DeFi. And I don't want to say purposely, but they have not had Cardano on a lot of these lists. And it's almost like the Barbara Streisand effect where by not having Cardano on that list, and then the Cardano people come out, JPEG Store comes out with data, or CryptoSlam.io say, hey, you missed this. It's created a narrative like, oh, wow, is there suppression? Is there Cardano suppression out there? I don't think it's anything malicious like that. I don't think it's someone like really into Solana or XRP, like, oh, no, we got to hide the Cardano information. I just think, maybe it was harder to, find or just couldn't get it as easily. But it's been huge. And the narrative is finally starting to turn around. I think people are starting to say, hey, you know what? Maybe 60 cents, it's 5x away from all-time high. Just saying. All right. Hey, I do think it could go down lower. I don't want to say like, hey, just put everything in it at 60 cents. It could hit the 40s. It could hit a quarter, depending on what Bitcoin does. All right, moving on here. But back to the hedge funds here. Perhaps more significantly, with traditional hedge funds, 67% of those surveys said they plan to deploy more capital into the crypto market by the end of the year. So it looks like we have roughly a third of them in the funds, and of those, and possibly a third on the sideline, they want to get involved. They want to invest in this. The people want it. And if you're honestly offering a product, give the people what they want. The report is another sign that the crypto market is finding broader appeal amongst the mainstream public, as well as established financial institutions. You can see here, 21 versus 22. Almost looks like it's down. Okay, so above here in this range, much higher in this range. As we get into the big numbers, we're still a little bit lower, but it's only June, baby. It's only June. So honestly, double this. This one, it could be a little bit higher, but I think overall it's still looking pretty good for those big red candles there. All right, let's move on. The next story here, we got, I think it's the Metaverse tokens. Yeah, we got some Metaverse. Again, shout out to Meta Money here.
Yeah, and real quick, I was going to say shout out to you and Justin on that Cardano NFT stuff. I feel like you guys have done a really good job driving that awareness that there is a lot of volume on Cardano NFTs, and there is a really strong community there, and they do get left out a lot.
Yeah, so. I try to, it's a balancing act with me being, I don't want to come out as a Cardano maxi. I
Sure.
do have some Solana NFTs. I do like Ethereum. My crypto name is DZ_BTC.
Right.
Under that, DZ.ETH. So I don't want to come off as like a maxi Cardano's, my way or the highway or anything like that. But yeah, we were, along amongst that first crowd of Ethereum individuals jumping into Cardano before JPEG Store, before, Nami Wallet, when it wasn't exactly, as smooth as an experience as it is now. I'm telling you, if you haven't looked at Cardano lately, it is a smooth experience. You will like what you see. And you can get, nice NFTs for literally like 20 bucks. Things are minting for 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I'm going to mint something later. Crone Nibblers. I'm not trying to shout them out or anything, but it's like 80 ADA, and that's on the high end. So you're looking at 45 bucks, and that's like on the high end. So when you're looking at Ethereum and the high end is like $1,000, feels a little bit better if it goes down 50%. You're not really like, oh my God, I just watched, $500 melt away.
Great point.
But hey, there's still some good blue chips. Hey, they're getting the blue chips too. Space Buds, those aren't going to be cheap forever. Claymates aren't going to be cheap forever. All right, back to the Metaverse here. As crypto markets tank, Metaverse tokens buck the trend. I hit my hand, and good Lord, it's hurting. Kraken research indicates Metaverse and exchange tokens were the only sectors that saw year-over-year growth. Metaverse and exchange tokens. Okay, I think FTT probably helped a lot with that. All right, digital currencies that power the Metaverse are up a collective 400% in the past year, an outlier and broader dismal crypto downturn, according to a new report. Some of the main gainers here, I think, just by the size of these bigger ones, it can make up for a lot of losses. Mana, 40%. Sandbox, 470%. Axie, even after the dump, 500%. And GMT, even after the dump, 746%. So we're seeing some huge gains. You know what? Should I give out a Steppen code? I have a Steppen code. They brought up Steppen. Hey, get your Steppen app ready. This was not announced. We're going to give out a code. Someone wants to walk and earn money. I think you can get the shoes fairly cheap now, 4 or 5 Solana. What's that? Roughly 200 bucks. And then you can earn, I don't know exactly, 10, 20 bucks a day. So, you look at 20-day ROI, 30-day. It's basically it's a month or less ROI. Now it could go lower.
Yeah, I was actually. How many codes? Don't give all your codes away.
They only let me do one at a time.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
So here is the step-in code. I hope you got the app out. Someone's
Drum
going to win this.
roll.
And just so you can see the check, like this isn't given out yet. 8 3 4 4 9 3 1 3 834 49 313. Congrats, some lucky viewer. Hey, BitSquad, we get back here. All right, let's see. So also NFTs, which have played a significant role in the blockchain-based gaming and metaverse writ large, also saw flat daily usage amid a large decline in May, with daily volume dropping 87%. So that's largely due to a lot of big things happening in April with some big drops. Moonbirds, basically that's the post Moonbirds dump there. Moonbirds was just something insane as far as volume. So that next month is going to be a little difficult for that month to equal the Moonbirds month without a Moonbirds-esque drop. So Kevin Rose, he killed it. Good job. He added the reason, this is Sebastian Borgia, this is a CEO of Animoca-owned platform, and he said the reason the metaverse and tokens such as Sand has outperformed crypto more broadly over the past year is due to continued demand for land from global brands from Hong Kong, Dubai, and Korea that are acquiring NFT avatars and engaging in play and earn events. So big money's coming in, Nike's coming in, Adidas coming in, Budweiser's coming in. Budweiser just announced a partnership this week. So big money is coming in here.
Yeah. And I was actually just looking at our sandbox land this morning. I don't know if you guys checked it out yet or if Ben has shown it. We'll have to show it on the stream. But we have a we have massive amounts of land, but 2x2 almost completely built for Digital City. And it looks really cool. There's already quests and stuff in there. It's going to be one of the best lands in Sandbox for sure. We're going to see if we can try to get it into a beta season so people can start running around and exploring and doing stuff. So yeah, it's really coming together nice. Remind me after this to show it to you. You'll like it.
Definitely. Tom Crown, you got me. That was a very, very good Reddit reference. BitSquad and BitBoy are fire. Don't let this man distract you from the fact that in 1998, DZ threw mankind off Hell in a Cell and plummeted 16 feet to an announcer's table. That was good. That was good. S-Morph. That's a S-Morph joke from Reddit. Good stuff there. All right, let's talk a little Seth Green. Yes, old Chris from Family Guy. He had to pay $300K to recover his stolen Bored Ape Ethereum NFT. There were rumors that this ape is in his new animated series. There were rumors that this was all part of a marketing ploy. This maybe puts a little bit of a wet blanket on that theory there. If so, I mean, increase the budget of this marketing ploy significantly, unless it's like his own wallet. But actor Seth Green has been reunited, and it feels so good with his Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT. He lost in a phishing attack last month, according to BuzzFeed News report. You can call it a phishing attack. It was a bad link in a Discord, and he clicked it with his wallet. He didn't just click the link. He clicked the link, went to the site, and then hit mint, a free NFT, and then signed the transaction that said transfer. And so there were many steps he could have done. And I'm not trying to point the finger at. I'm pointing the finger, actually. I am pointing the finger. You got to be a little bit careful. If you have a wallet with an ape in it,
yeah, don't be clicking on free mints. Period.
Just period.
Yeah.
Period. And you know what? Maybe they're charging 0.1 or something. I don't know.
Anything
like that. Yeah, you just don't do that. Now, I have to click it sometimes. I had to click it for my ape merch. I had to click it just recently for Ape Fest, and but I make sure it's like the official link. I definitely do my due diligence. I never type in something on Google. I never type in the URL myself. I will always click verified links off of verified Twitter. Never trust a Discord message, even if it says it's a mod. Discord is where you're going to see a lot more hacks. And not only that, maybe wait 5 minutes. If there's a link out and it's on an official Twitter, wait a few minutes, check the comments, and make sure people are, like I literally saw comments saying, wow, this was a smooth experience. I click on it. It's like a real account, 50,000. I'm like, okay, this is real. But if you check the comments in 10 minutes and say, oh my God, this was a scam, that's your sign there. So do your due diligence. All right. On Thursday, during an appearance on a Twitter Spaces chat, Green confirmed that the NFT is home. He's back in the tree house. He's got his banana. He's happy. Actually, I think he's about to beat up Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid. Is he Cobra Kai? While it is not immediately clear what convinced Darkwing to return to the NFT to its initial owner, money aside. I think it's the money. The events surrounding the story raise questions regarding the IP rights conferred to by NFT ownership. We kind of covered it on the weekly wrap up. This is going to star in his show, and then it went missing. Quick question, BJ. Did you watch Cobra Kai?
Did
The
I watch?
Netflix?
No, I didn't.
You should. It's pretty good.
That's what everybody said, but I just couldn't get into it.
It's. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I don't like formulaic sitcoms,
Yeah.
but I like Johnny.
And it was
Johnny
like
grew on me.
it felt like it was like a kind of like a teen drama ish, right? Like high school. Like what was the?
It did.
It was the same time that Outer Banks show was really big. And
Yeah.
everybody was watching Cobra Kai and Outer Banks, and I just kind of looked at the previews and I was like, I don't get it, but you know.
I have
Hey.
rage issues. I'd be in Cobra Kai. All right, Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey launched this. I broke my arm. It was punching a wall. I had an NFT go down 0.01 that I paid 0.07 for.
He actually-
and I couldn't take it.
Yeah, he punched a hole in his floor so severe that people could go through it.
I punched a hole in my floor, then I fell through that hole.
Hulk smashed it.
So it's kind of from me punching something there. All right, Jay-Z and Jack Dorsey launch Bitcoin Academy to promote financial education. I think this is a great thing that they're doing. I like Jack Dorsey, always have, even with the nose ring here. Bitcoin Academy will run twice a week from late June through September at Marcy Houses, public housing complex in Brooklyn. Jay-Z hails from, along with Memphis Bleak. Memphis Bleak, where are you, man? What happened to you? Jay-Z, why'd you let Memphis Bleak fail? All right. The program intends to teach residents of the project about achieving financial freedom with an emphasis on using Bitcoin.
That's cool.
If you know your stats, cryptocurrencies are overrepresented by minority groups. And so, I think that is a good thing to, just kind of level the playing field when it comes to finances. I don't want to say level the playing field like, give people, push people down. But if you have a lack of education just due to your upbringing, I think having an even ability to educate is more than fair, and it's something that we should strive for. Now, what you don't want to force is equal outcome, but you do want to, try to make equal resources for people. All right. The project is not the first time Dorsey and Jay-Z have collaborated. Last year, the crypto enthusiasts launched BTrust, a Bitcoin development fund, which concentrated on Bitcoin development in Africa and India. And, just last year, Jay-Z successfully auctioned off an NFT of Sotheby's for six figures, $139,000. Of course, there was the whole drama with him. What was his business part? Damon Dash tried to sell Reasonable Doubt. That was the whole thing. I don't want to throw the person on the bus, but a very large crypto influencer I was on a call with, they're like, yeah, we're doing a, big record with a big artist. And insane. I was like, I guess that it was Jay-Z, basically confirmed it. Yeah, that didn't end up. So sorry, you know who you are. You know who you are. I don't know if they're watching, but yeah, sorry to see that deal didn't go through. But you should have known when you're dealing with Damon Dash, not Jay-Z. All right, let's talk a little Chucky here. Cardano creator Charles Hoskinson says Terra collapse has triggered one massive change in Cardano development, and this is impacting the development of the sixth largest crypto asset by market cap. After the collapse of Luna, we decided to add an additional test harness to what we're doing and think really carefully about some things. Is taking a bit more time, but we figured that the abundance of caution is well rewarded these days. Not him saying we're taking even extra precaution.
It's like Charles saying we're going to take more time and do this more carefully is never a surprise.
There's like a first grader in Africa, like, yeah, man, one day I'm gonna have my school records on Cardano. He's gonna be in middle school one day. He's gonna be in high school one day.
He'll be the principal. He'll be we're gonna get there.
It's gonna be the teacher. Hey, one day you're gonna have it. No, I love Cardano. And honestly, if everything that happened with Terra Luna, everything that happened with Solana with the multiple outages, I think time is saying test things, walk slowly, make sure it works, check where your feet are landing, before you're stepping. And I don't know, seems to be the right case or the right choices he's making here. Let's see. My hope is over the next 1 to 2 years, if we all work together, we can finally get something passed and then it's done. We actually have a foundation of regulation that's not intrusive and allows us to innovate as an industry. That's him talking about the possible legislation that is going to pass due to the Do Kwon issues. Speaking of Do Kwon, I said 80 million at the beginning of the show. I'm sorry, it was 8. Accused of siphoning 8 million a month from the failed Terra project. Fresh allegations claim he withdrew hundreds of millions of dollars. I haven't found how many months they've said it's happened, but so now they're saying it is 80 million a month. I thought it was 80. Investigators that Do Kwon has been withdrawing 80 million a month before the Luna UST crash. I don't know if that was 2 months. I don't know if it was 12 months. A month has passed since it lost its dollar peg, resulting in a loss $60 billion. Given the severity of the accusation and the scale of the subsequent devastation, it was only a matter of time before authorities began investigating. I know the SEC is opening investigation. I know Korean authorities are opening investigations on the allegation that Do Kwon siphoned. That is so much.
That is
80
a
million
lot.
a month. Old Lark Davis commented that Luna rabbit hole appears to go deep. Lark, we miss your long hair on the picture. Please bring it back. Man, what is your take on that? If it's true, and we're not saying it is, these are allegations, what are the percentage of jail time? I'm putting it like 80% he's going to see jail time. I don't know if it's North Korea. I don't know if it's America. I don't know if he's going to abscond and pull like just hide, Kim.com style, McAfee style. What do you?
I'd be real worried if I was Do Kwon right now.
Mhm.
Not only did he cost a lot of people a lot of money, like that may, maybe people that want to, put him under, so that's a concern. Definitely jail time, because if this does go the legal route, they're going to want to make an example out of this. It's such a high profile case.
Too high profile here.
And I think that's part of the media drive behind this. I mean, it crashed, and overnight, everybody had heard of UST. So I think it will be a very big, high-profile case that the SEC really needs a big win. And I think they'll kind of come back off the SEC thing and follow up with this, and they can get a win under their belt again.
Who plays Do Kwon in the Terra Luna movie?
I don't know. Not me.
Did someone say Shaq in the back?
Wow.
No.
It'd be
No.
I don't know how tall is he?
No, who's that person? No, it'd be Scarlett Johansson, of course. All right, moving on. Another way. All right, where the XRP army at? XRP, that's right. Final topic here. We're going to cover a little XRP
Can
here.
you throw that at X up? There it is. Hey. Oh, that's a different kind of X, but all right.
That was the X-Pac.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, China. All right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right. Another win for Ripple. Woo! As court denies the SEC's motion to seal. And would you say that's a kiss from a rose? All right. The ongoing legal battle. That's why you hit that like button. Dad jokes like that. Right. Ongoing legal battle between the SEC and Ripple has taken another twist after the presiding judge denied SEC's motion to seal here. That's where they were going to clap their hands and bounce a ball on their nose. They had requested the court order sealing the agency's, this is what they're going to seal, the letter in opposition to the motion by the 6 investors to file a brief regarding the opinion of one of their experts. Just trying to break that down into normal terms here. They wanted to hide an SEC's expert's opinion, and the opinion was favorable for Ripple. And the SEC said, no, we're going to hide this. It's sealed up. Ripple said, nah, man, this is actually important. And it looks like the judge said, you know what? It is important because it was what a SEC agent said in the past. And you know what? I think that does have a little bit of relevancy to what is going on today. So really, really good stuff here. As previously reported, new emails emerging proving SEC's conflict of interest. This is them, basically they're warned about a potential conflict of interest with the previous employer of the SEC official, Hinman, Simpson Thatcher. Of course, there's a lot of, we've covered it before. What is your take on the whole secret stuff with Simpson Thatcher and Hinman?
You mean a lot of the ETH stuff?
Yeah, the ETH stuff.
I think it's, or SEC.
Basically, those who don't know, is he had relations to Ethereum-based companies.
Ethereum Foundation. Basically, people that had interest in Ethereum doing well.
Yep.
Took payments potentially for speeches. A lot of this, to me, is par for the course. This is how the SEC operates. This is how the government operates. They take payments for pushing legislation that is favorable to the person who's paying them. So to me, I don't think it necessarily reflects on Ethereum as much as it does the system that was created. It's no different than Brad Garlinghouse, lobbying people in Davos and guarantee Ripple is making payments out to different sorts of people. It's an unfortunate reality of the way the United States and governments have decided to conduct their business, and it's just the way it is.
I see someone in chat. Why do you guys favor XRP over XLM? I don't think we favor one over the other, but I will say the upside of a positive court case is going to be higher for XRP versus XLM. I think both are going to go up considerably. I just think the XRP would gain slightly more percentage wise. I could be wrong. That's just my guess, though.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, you could make an argument for XLM has a smaller market cap, so it could maybe jump higher.
Much less awareness for sure.
Yeah, much less awareness. And I mean that Ripple community. It's honestly a big part of it is the Ripple community. It's strong. They're out there. There is a good XLM community as well, but Ripple gang, man, I don't know. It's on a whole nother level. All right, who do we have? A little Q&A here. Who's hosting ATB? That would be me. I'll be back and might be doing the 9 p.m. as well. Any questions we got here?
We've got why wouldn't Sol, ADA, and others be classified as commodity like ETH is when there are ecosystems? They are not securities.
Well, they kind of just spoke on two, ETH and Bitcoin, and they didn't go through the whole list.
Well, we had Cynthia Loomis submitted that build. I think it was earlier this week. That would help clarify, and I think a lot of these would fall under commodities rather than securities, but. We just have to see if that legislation goes through and, how it's received and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Do
we have any quick hits at all?
Yeah, there's one that I thought was kind of good. Some were a little dry. I think this one's kind of good. MasterCard to allow 2.9 billion cardholders to make direct NFT purchases. I did not know 3 billion people have a MasterCard. Just seems like super high. They're expanding its payment network for non-fungible token markets and Web3. Say that is partnered with Immutable X, Candy Digital, Sandbox, Mintable, Spring, Nifty Gateway, and MoonPay. Those are big names. It isn't JPEG Store, OpenSea, Magic Eden. Immutable X is really big. MoonPay is really big. Sandbox, Mintable, Nifty. Those are heavy hitters in the space. Shown keen interest in crypto and NFT markets over the past couple years. And earlier in April this year, filed for 15 Metaverse and NFT related trademarks. So MasterCard's making some moves. That's one thing we're seeing a lot in this industry. It's not the number one player in an industry jumping in. You see it the number two. But a lot of times what happens, number one follows suit.
Yeah.
An example is Adidas. Adidas isn't the number one shoe. I'm pretty sure it's Nike. Yeah. Adidas jumped in way ahead, and now Nike's like, oh, crap. Now we got to catch up. Same thing with Budweiser. Anheuser-Busch wasn't the first one, but they saw these other beer people doing it, and they're like, guess we got to do the same. And I think maybe even a subsidiary of Budweiser tested the waters first. I believe Corona is owned by Anheuser-Busch. If not, they are owned by the number two, so that then speaks to that example. Number two jumps in. Number one will sit on their hands for a little bit. We'll say, okay, I think we got to do the same thing. So we're going to see it industry after industry after industry. It's going to be interesting when some of these other, banks start getting involved, automakers start getting involved a little bit more heavily. We're seeing it with clothing. We'll see it with fast food restaurants. So just love seeing it. Shout out to Taco Bell. Taco Bell, you brought a whole new meaning to gas fee.
Yeah. Right. And we got another question here from Marcus on YouTube. What is your favorite go-to NFT platform?
OpenSea, Ethereum, Magic Eden, Solana, JPEG Store, Cardano. That's all I'm really buying. I mean, I have like VV, and I do have some layer 2 Mutable X stuff and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the main three that I like. I haven't used Magic Eden in a while, but I still do like Solana, despite every now and then someone hits the off switch, which is not really crypto, but I think I heard a good example. This came from Mike. You can fix issues with your blockchain a lot more easily than you can create a community.
That's true.
I heard that, and I was like, you know what? I'm still a believer in Solana. Just off the community is strong.
It is.
Head to the pharmacy.
Real quick, a couple more little questions. St. Nicholas, where do you think the ETH price will bounce? I know Frank was throwing some numbers out.
You're saying 16. That sounds about right. I have a hard time imagining 3 digits. I'm going to be DCAing so hard. 3-digit, like under $1,000. I'm DCAing hard. So yeah. I would refer to Frankie Candles. 16 sounds pretty good. I could easily see 1490, 1480 having some really good bounces too.
I could see the 1400 range being strong. I mean, I think that's previous all-time high, 1400. Yeah. So that makes for very strong good support.
Sense. Makes a lot of sense there.
So yeah. All right.
Last one for TJ. What's your take on Gala after the event? Any promise with the Epic Games partner? You see anything there?
We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. I thought the event was great, and they did the game Grit. We played it. The gameplay was good. It was a battle royale, basically a Western version of Fortnite. Controls very similar to Fortnite, fun to play. And they are partnered with Epic Games. They're going to be one of the first games in the Epic Games store, which I think DZ alluded to at the top of the show. I think it has 96 million or 196 million users. So that's pushing a play-to-earn game in front of a lot of people that will probably play it not even knowing they can earn playing it. Yeah. So, yeah, I was very impressed with a lot of things Gala. So
and Red Dead Redemption's a great IP. So I think people are like, we kind of see it. You'll see zombie games. They'll be popular for, a few years, such. So
here's a big one.
They're soon enough.
Partnering with IP like crazy. They've got all the IP from Battlestar Galactica. So that's going to be a big game. They're going to be pushing out space and using that IP across a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, where's my Battlestar Galactica fans? Nathan Fillion fans? Hit that like button.
But all right.
I think that's all we got. HP on Narcs tonight. Small amount. I'm going to try not to be too glass-eyed. All right. That's all we got. Until next time, BitSquad. Easy out.